In example 12, we're looking at calculating the future value of a 401k account with some different given conditions here. In part A, we're asked, how much will the company match? Our employee makes $85,500 a year times the maximum match of 3%, gives a maximum match of $3,445. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong value. Gives a maximum match of $2,565. This amount is less than the $5,130 they plan to deposit themselves, meaning they're going to receive a full match from their employer. So the employee's total contribution per year will be the $5,130 that they intend to deposit, plus the matching funds of $2,565 for a grand total of $7,695 paid into that 401k each year. And then if they continue that for 25 years, how much will their 401k be worth? Using that future value formula that we already looked at earlier in this section, where lowercase p is that monthly payment, or that payment per period of $7,695, interest rate of 0.05, because they expect a 5% return per year, for 25 years with interest compounded annually, gives us a future value of $367,260 and some change that will round up to 3 cents. So the future value in this case we found to be $367,260 and 3 cents. Our last two examples look at calculating the payment per period that an employee would need to make into their account to meet a particular investing goal. For part A, how much total will need to be added to this account to reach this goal? We can use that payment formula that we used before, where lowercase p represents that payment per period. The goal is 1.21 million, or 1,210,000, with an expected return of 0.075 for 28 years, compounded annually. So a minimum payment of $13,830, since again we need to round up to make sure we're putting in enough each year to at least meet, if not exceed, that goal. In part B, we're asked what is 5% of that employee's salary, because that's the matching. So 64,500 times that 0.05 is going to give us $3,225, would be the maximum match per year. So the question is, how much will the employee need to contribute each year to meet their goal? We know that we need to put in $13,800.30. The company will match $3,225, leaving us with $10,575.30 left over. So that's the amount that the employee would have to contribute each year. And the next question we're asked is, how much will the employee need to contribute each month? So we take that result and divide it by 12, meaning that would be a monthly contribution of $881.28. And here again, we want to make sure that we're thinking about rounding up, regardless of what regular rounding rules would tell us, to make sure that we have at least enough, if not even a little bit more, to hit that goal. In example 14, we're repeating example 13, but with some new values. So we can switch over to Desmos again and calculate those payments again with the new goal of $1,240,000, the new expected return of 0.095, a time of t equals 29 years compounded annually, will give us a result of $9,131.91, since we'll round that up. In part B, we're asked to find what is, in this case, 9.5% of this employee's salary, since that's the maximum match. So that would be $8,787.50. In part C, we wanted to find the employee's contribution. So we know that a total of $9,931.91 has to be paid in. The employer will match up to $8,787.50, leaving $344.41 left over. But this is not our answer. Can't be our answer, because an employer will only match what the employee matches up to that maximum amount. So if what we're saying here is that an employee only needs to contribute $344, the company's going to match that, so they're only putting in about $688 a year. That's going to fall well short of what they need to hit. So what this is telling us is that the employee is going to have to pay more than that, but they're not going to have to exceed the matching amount. In this case, what we're going to do is take that maximum amount, take that total amount that needs to be contributed each year and divide it by 2. That's going to give us $4,565.96, making sure we round up. So what we're saying is, as long as the employee contributes $4,565.96, that falls below the threshold, that maximum amount an employer would match. So they would match 100% of that. So if the employee pays this, the employer would pay that same amount, getting us to that $9,131.91 that we need to meet that goal. Then in part D, we take that amount divided by 12 and make sure we round up to see that this would be a monthly payment of $366.15.